everybody, this is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com, and we're at the Radial engineering booth with J-Bo, and we are going to talk about a couple of new things from Radial. And first, let's talk about these two pedals we have here on the floor, the Regency and the Classic V9. So tell us about what we heard a little in the intro.
Cool. The intro was the Classic V9, which is basically a 9-volt distortion, coming away from the 15 volts, which Radial usually has. It's kind of like your classic distortion. It goes from 3 different gain stages. We got a low gain stage, which is going to kind of give you an overdrive. We got a medium gauge stage, which I'm on right now.
Yep. Drive
all the way up, so that was pretty nice and crunchy. And then and then you have a higher gain stage, which kind of gives you more of the metal sound.
So this is the medium sound right here?
This is the medium sound right here with a humbucker. Here's P90. So it's also got the mid-range boost or flat, whatever you want, as Radial normally does. It's got 2-band EQ, low and high, and it's got a level control, of course. It's also got a top-end control, which really makes a huge difference, especially if the distortion is high. So you can kind of go from, a kind of an overdriven, distorted sound that we have here to pretty much massive gain, whatever you want. So basically that's that one.
Okay.
Then we've got
and now the Regency.
Yep, the new Regency pedal is basically, it's 2 pedals in one. It is a classic overdrive, so the distortion is, not so saturated. It's a little bit more full, and it's a boost pedal as well. So the way I have these two lined up, I got the Classic in front of the Regency, so the way it's set up, you can actually have 3 gain stages with this. You can boost the Classic, but you can also boost the Regency, or you can boost clean. The clean on the boost on this is completely transparent. It's really pretty amazing. So,
and are they independent of each other?
They're independent of each other, yeah. So if I just want to go with the clean boost, here's the guitar. See, I got the humbucker on. So that's the boost. So it's super clean. It's really nice. And so the overdrive sound is just kind of a little hairier, That's the humbucker, P90. And this thing, of course, also has the normal mid-range controls that you get in all the Radial pedals. And I got the drive set right now at about 11 o'clock, so it's just a little bit hairy. It can kick pretty good, but still nothing like the Classic. The Classic is full-blown distortion. This one is pretty much an overdrive pedal.
So tell us a little bit about the Classic and the Regency, the kind of the general price points and availability.
Price points on these is going to be about 200-ish, and the availability is immediately after the NAMM show, as far as I know.
And they can, of course, go to the website to find out all the latest updates and information about when all of these products will be available.
All the scoop. They can get the scoop.
All right, so now we move on. Let's move on to the Headlight over here, and we can kind of describe which kind of ties into how we're setting up and recording this demo. So tell us about the Headlight and kind of what it does.
Okay, so the Headlight is basically a head switcher. It's got 4 independent channels, so you could literally have up to 4 amps on stage if you want, or whatever it's going to be, different amps, keyboard amp. If you wanted to turn the bass amp off, you could, but if it's just for your guitar, you could have 4 different amps on stage. Cool thing about it is that each one has an independent ground lift and polarity switch, in case you run into phasing issues. It's also got a mute switch, which basically mutes everything, brake switch, whatever you want to call it, which we can talk about. It's also got an all-on switch, which turns everything on. So if you wanted all amps on at the same time to really rock out, that's what we're talking about. That's my favorite setting. So at the moment, we're going to be running through the Egnator into the Prodigy, no cabinet, it's just the Prodigy, into the QSC, clean. All the pedals are running through it. I'll hit the Classic. That was a P90. Humbucker. Again, Egnator into this one.
Yep.
Now we switch it over to the JDX Direct drive. So this drive is a pretty amazing little thing. What we got basically is a JDX Direct box with tone voicing controls on it that are basically amp simulator, cabinet simulator kind of concept with one switch. You don't need any amp at all. You can run all your effects pedals. You could bring your board to the gig and only this thing can run direct into the PA with JDX direct box quality and consistency with the signal.
And that's small enough to really just sit on your pedal board,
Absolutely.
even as a backup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if we take a look at just the JDX setting, which is what I'm going to play now, straight in JDX, no nothing. There's no effects or anything on this. So if we decide, though, that we want the twin sound, for instance, that's going to be our combo. So it's going to pull us up into the Twinville, this humbucker setting. This is with the bright switch on. And that's humbucker, so here's P90. Kind of Rickenbacker-y a little. So that's the combo switch. It's going to give you the the twin sound. Bright switch, normal switch is like a bright switch on your amp, basically, although it's much more sensitive. So the stack setting is going to be more like a Marshall 412 closed back cabinet, plexi head, something like that.
Right.
It's going to be a little darker, a little louder. Humbucker. Okay. So if we want to bright switch again, we'd darken it up a little bit. So that's just running direct in, no problem. Let's hit a couple of these pedals. So if you wanted to go with the Marshall sound, for instance, kind of a high gain kind of a thing. Let's go back up to the twin setting. So there's going to be the twin with the normal, so it won't be so bright. And then we've got back to the JDX, which again is just the straight direct box. The cool thing about this is it's got a through jack, which is basically going to send an unaffected signal to your amp. So if you wanted to keep your amp on stage because in a stage environment you like to hear your amp sound, this is going to run out of the JDX into your amp completely unaffected. So none of the tone voicing will affect your amp tone.
Yeah.
However, it still, of course, has the XLR out, which is going to the board, and that's where the tone voicing comes in. So front of house guy or gal could be like, I need a little bit more high end on it. You can actually switch to the twin setting if you want, the combo setting, get a little bit higher end on it if you want, without affecting your amp tone, so it's not bothering you on stage if it's too bright.
Yeah.
She or he can also combine the two sounds if she wants with the XLR out, which is going to be the tone voicing signal, the wet signal, and whatever mic she's using or they're using on the front of house for your guitar. So it's also got a tuner out, which is always on. And in case you do want to use the through, there's a polarity switch on here if you're into some phasing issues. And of course it's got a ground lift, which is a ground lift. So that's the general gist on it.
All right, so where can people go online to find out more information about both the guitar pedals, the Headlight, and the direct drive?
Radial.com.
All right, Jabo, thank you so much, man.
You got it, brother. Good seeing you again.
This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to follow all of our NAMM 2016 coverage. Go ahead, take it away.
Take it away.